yeah, this post, Superman artwork, there was recently a new Superman movie that came out. Very great. Haven't seen it, but everybody who saw it says that it was really good. And this person on Twitter, Tobu, who goes by the handle Tobu underscore owo, but like 0W0, says hashtag Superman. And here they post their artwork, showing their art. Cute, nice. There was this commenter who dropped this reply. Guys, this is AI, but they wrote it backwards and they just wrote IA. And they just circled a bunch of stuff on the artwork. So they circled the thumb, they circled the hair, they circled aspects of the hands, they circled a whole bunch of aspects of the art. And I suppose the point of this is, again, to indicate that this is AI and not an actual piece drawn by a person. Now, a couple things to note. When it comes to, obviously, determining whether something was AI or not, most of the time, it is very recommended to look at more pieces than just one art piece from the artist, because in one art piece you might take a look and you might be like, oh, maybe this looks suspicious, maybe that looks suspicious, whatever. But then if you look at other artwork the artist makes, it could just be like a stylistic choice, a design choice. This is kind of just how they draw, etc. And secondly, if you do look at the Superman piece, like, many people are pointing out that the thumb looks suspicious. Sure, in this perspective looks a little longer than average, possibly. No aspect of this piece, honestly, is giving AI. This, to me, is just giving stylistic choice. So, yay! A couple of things to note, or to double check to see if this could be AI or not. When it comes to drawing fine details, AI tends to suck at it. So when we look at fine details, like, for example, this newspaper that's floating around here, okay? I know obviously it's a little bit bent here because the newspaper is supposed to have some wrinkles or not, right? But this is actual words. If it were to be AI, it actually would not be words. It would be a jumbled amalgamation that, when you look closely, doesn't resemble words. These are definitely, this says planet, this is the second half of Superman, these, strength and virtue, these are actual English words here. The hair was circled, right? Because it's a bit loopy of the hair, etc. This honestly, again, looks like a stylistic choice made by the artist. You can kind of see it up here, speaking of fine details, right? If AI were to draw floating newspaper sheets in the corner, it would look like it's a lot of detail, but once you zoom in, the details wouldn't make any sense. Right? When we look closer, we can clearly see this is somebody's face. They're holding their face in kind of shock. It looks like another individual, kind of another superhero standing here. We have the hand here. AI tends to not be great at drawing fingernails. It'll probably draw fingernails on some of the fingers, not all of the fingers. We do have consistency with the fingernails being drawn here. And then if we go to the artist Tobu's page and we look at their other art pieces, nothing in this piece is really giving AI. They have their Batman, so they kind of have like a little bit of a sketchier style when it comes to drawing like superheroes and stuff like that. Again, Batman features the same type of like loopy hair, really just looks to be this artist's art style. Another kind of sketchy drawing from this artist. The hands look all normal. It looks all like an artistic choice, right? Here we have, some things floating up in the sky. These clearly look like roses. They do tend to draw thumbs like that too. They just tend to draw thumbs kind of like a little blockier. We have Wolverine sketches, different angle sketches of Wolverine, similar sketchiness going on with the hair, the detailing. It's another piece from this artist. The hands look all completely normal. They just tend to draw kind of like boxy looking thumbs. It just looks like an art style from this artist. And if you go back to the commenter's post, you scroll down, it actually ended up getting community noted. And the community note reads, there's no solid evidence at all that this is AI. The red circles are misleading. Posts like this prejudice the creator, who stated that they work very hard on this drawing. Yeah, Luna, I firmly believe the artist is human. That's what it really seems like, right? And the artist is Chinese, but they write, and this is translated by Grok, you better have some evidence when you question others. I usually don't say much, but that doesn't mean I'm refined. I'm already holding back from rushing over to tear you apart. Smiley face. I worked hard for over 10 hours on this, and you only need half a minute to badmouth me, you uncultured thing. Another commenter by the name of Tashar actually translated it with some more, and in their translation, it has a little bit more vitriol in the sentiments, which is totally fair for the artist, I just thought this was funny because this got 20k likes in the ratio, but a commenter by the name of Disappointed writes, guys, this is a moron. Now, don't send hate to the commenter, right? But they just took their their post and they just circled a bunch of stuff off the post as like a gotcha. Sorry, I just thought that was really funny. We just have another response from the artist. I just thought it was funny. So Twitter user Kai, this is written in Chinese, and they write, I completely don't understand what he circled means. Is there something wrong with these parts? Teacher, don't take it to heart. It's just some trash who's drawn a few pictures in their life and loves to spew nonsense online. And Toba responds, I'm speechless. Every country has them. This kind of trash, slandering others' hard work is just too easy. The hardest thing on their whole body is just their mouth. I feel really bad for Tobu. You spent all this time making this art piece and then everyone is just AI, 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 and you're like, dude, what did I even do? I just tried to draw Superman and y'all are being weird about it. Please show love to the artist Tobu. Don't send hate to the person who made the comments, right? Show love to the artist. Yeah. I don't even know. I swear this is probably rage bait, but this is the most wild rage bait I've seen in a minute on Twitter. This is posted on Twitter by Wild Nails Power, writing, testing some fur and texture brushes. You know, and they post a cute little drawing. And then there's this random account by the name of Chem T Trails, writing, since everyone wants to hate, this is literally my art. No references and a lot better than your art, in quotes. LMAO. And it's the same artwork, but then they put their watermark on it and they write January 11th, 2025. So they dated it with the dates. In the same spot that Wiles has their watermark. Wiles hails power. Winter Duchy comments, that's not yours, delete the post. Andromeda says, it's mine. And then they drop this, my time lapse. Sorry, this is just something to laugh about, because what? This is most definitely rage bait. It's my time lapse. And what they do is they just have a clipping layer over the artwork and they paint on the clipping layer to finally reveal the artwork beneath. Like, what in the scam? And the commenters are like, it's beautiful. And then Wiles goes on Twitter and writes, since this person wants to be a clown and think art theft is funny, here's an entire thread of proof this is my work. So you post the original thread and they drop an unedited time lapse that's 8 minutes long with a whole bunch of references from Disney's Lion Guard, more sketching, more rendering, where it's obviously the time lapse. And then Wiles adds OC's name and they show their Procreate where they open the canvas in Procreate. And you can see all of the layers they've opened as well. Most definitely rage bait because that is just way too blatant, but I just thought it was pretty funny. So I just wanted to share because, you know, art theft always sucks, but the rage bait just gets a little chuckle. You know what I mean? That is most definitely a what are you doing type thing. The art thieves are back at it again. So we have this post posted by Twitter user Nancy Arts 2. Their handle reads Nancy EN VTuber. And they write affordable 2D models for aspiring VTubers, custom designs, pro rigging, and a deal you can't resist. DM to claim a slot. And like 50,000 hashtags. And you can see there is a video attached where they're promoting their commission. And if you look at the video, this video is for a VTuber who goes by the name of Vane. And a commenter, Bai He, says, hello, I see that you're using my talent's personal model to advertise yourself falsely, as you are not the artist or the rigger. And the rigger, Alcan, says, stealing isn't nice. Rise VP and I worked hard on this model. So funnily enough, if you go to this account, it now says, caution, this account is temporarily restricted. But if you go look at their page, their entire page is promoting their commission services using stolen artwork. I guarantee you none of this artwork is theirs because if they've stolen one, they've most definitely stolen multiple. So I was trying to find the original artist. I couldn't find all of them. There is this post they made, huge discount alert, grab your 2D model now before it's gone. And that is actually this live 2D model that is for sale on a site called Nazima, made by somebody by the name of Hyon. Nancy made this post, I may be 2D, but my mission is real. Protect the planet one stream at a time. Which also, what in the chat GPT is this? But it is a VTuber showcase. And this is the VTuber in question. They go by the handle CandyXCat. So unfortunately, when I was scrolling, I couldn't find a tag to their artist. Sometimes this happens because the artist chooses to be private, etc. But something tells me Nancy is not the artist of their model. Then there is this VTuber showcase that's attached here. And this looks to be the artist in question, an artist by the name of Fish, who on Twitter goes by Loon and River. This looks to be the VTuber in question, Ko Nizawa, and it looks like I Am Kiyoki on Twitter is the rigger for their model. On a complete side note, what I think is interesting is this Nancy account is retweeting this post from this account by the name of Mary or Mariana VT. If you go to Mary's account, they literally only have one media post. And it's this. It reads, Eco VTuber, born from the breeze, rooted in dreams, your digital forest spirit has arrived. And attached is a VTuber model showcase. Oh wait, if we look here, isn't this the showcase? Posted on an account on YouTube by the name of Manju. And this is their Twitter. They're a Malaysian live 2D rigger. One thing to note is they're actively removing the watermark. So here in this showcase again, we can see there's a watermark up here. It begins with F and it's just completely smudged out, which I think again, like, I mean, if you're gonna go through this level of scamming, you just kept part of the watermark in here. Don't send hate to any parties involved, but please show love to the actual artists who had their art stolen by this random Nancy account, where I bet their name is not actually Nancy. But in an air of good news, I found this post that was really wholesome. So this is posted on Threads by Emily, and the post reads, 8 years ago, my boyfriend paid for everything to start my art career, dot, dot, dot. I'm gonna mute it for copyright reasons, but that's what the text says on their first screen. You can see Emily is kind of like, I love this table, look at this chair, I love this. And the next video, now that the art career allows me to make his dreams come true. And Emily handed her boyfriend the keys to a car in the Toyota lot, which is so wholesome. That is absolutely so wholesome. I love seeing people succeed, and especially when they have a supportive partner that supports their art career, because God knows in a lot of relationships, and not even just romantic, but even with family, etc., your relationships will not support you pursuing something new, something creative, art, etc., because it's too risky. Oh, you're never gonna make it, etc., etc. But to have a partner who like loyally supports you and gives it their 100%, buying you everything to start your career and then seeing it pay off later, we love that. Also, some people in the comments are being weird and being like, well, what job do you have where you could afford that? I mean, Emily 2 days ago posted this update about their Instagram where they have 569,000 followers and their bio reads 2-time Emmy-winning motion graphic artist. And they have a nonprofit as well. And they're represented by United Talent. And if you're represented by United Talent, you're cool. Anyways, if you have a supportive partner, family member, whatever, friend, would love to hear the stories, would love to hear how they supported you to where you are today. I mean, my dad, basically every single day, he'll watch my YouTube videos because he knows I drop it at the same time every day. And he'll send me a photo, like a screenshot of the YouTube where if it drops right at 10, right? It will say like no viewers. And he's like, look, I'm your first view and I'm your first like. It's really sweet. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad Liente. Appreciate it. But yeah, again, please show support to all the affected artists. If you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on VGen. I post art over there. I also have a coffee with free resources for streamers and content creators. I have a sponsorship guide on there if you're trying to make money as a creator, completely free. I don't want to charge for this stuff. So yeah. And I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. So I hope to catch you guys there or in another one of my videos. Peace.